Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord God, for another opportunity to serve your people and to make decisions for your people. And we pray and ask that you would touch our hearts and our minds and help us to make the right decision for your people. We thank you for this day. We thank you for this gathering. We thank you for those that are present here today. And most of all, we thank you for your grace and your mercy and watching over us and keeping us safe. These blessings we ask in your darling Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Turn and face your flag and repeat after me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Baker and Commissioner Smith. Are there any agenda additions? Recognize Mr. Smith.
I'd like to bring up adding Garrett Williams, and I put a little note at your desk.
Okay, we need to get a motion and a second to extend the agenda. Could I get a motion moved by Mr. Thibodeau, seconded by Ms. Baker, that the agenda be extended, allowing Mr. Commissioner Smith to state his agenda addition. Let's vote in favor. Okay, and that must be unanimous, and it is. Okay, Mr. Smith.
Wish to appoint Garrett O. Williams to the Water Board, District 7, effective immediately. He will be replacing Mary Collier.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Commissioner Lynch. We'll vote to move that on the new business, and we'll take that item up on the new business. Okay. I'd like to inform the citizens in the audience if there's anyone here that would like to address the commission on any item other than an item that's on the agenda for public hearing today. Please fill out a card in the form and get it to myself or the clerk, and you'll be recognized at the appointed time. At this time, I have... Right, but they can see. At this time, I have Mr. Pete Frank Miller. You come forward, sir, state your name and address for the record. You may proceed.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you for your time. I'm Pete Zanmiller, the President and Publisher of the Times, located at 222 Lake Street, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71101. I'm speaking today on the topic of the official journal and the decision and vote that will be done today. As you all know, I sent each of you a letter last week explaining my position on it, and first of all I want to thank the Commission for selecting the Times last year as the official journal. I hope in that capacity we've met the requirements and needs of the Commission and have helped you get the news and information from your proceedings out to the public in a timely manner. The biggest issue, as I've said almost every year since I've been coming to these meetings and making this case, is really the issue of full transparency and getting the information out to as many people as possible. I firmly believe that's the purpose of legal notices that are printed in the newspaper, and I think the Times can do that exceptionally well. Nothing against the Caddo Citizen and the Shreveport Sun. Both are excellent newspapers and both serve their public very well. The issue is in the quantities and the areas in which those two publications distribute their paper. In total, within the parish, those two combined total only 3,655 copies distributed within the parish, as opposed to our 27,216 copies. So you can see there's a huge difference. The Sun produces 5,000 copies each week. Of that, 3,100 are roughly distributed. Of that, 440 are distributed outside the parish, so they reach a total of 2,750 people. The Caddo Citizen, on the other hand, produces, according to their last postal statement, a little over 1,000 copies. 40 of those are distributed over outside the parish. Total paid circulation is 940, so they distribute only 900 copies within the parish, and this really defined primarily to the city of Vivian. So, again, you have a large population in the city of Caddo, and I think the Times is a vehicle that can reach the majority of those. As I said in my letter, we hit about 40% of all adults in the parish on a daily basis, and and 65% on a weekend. So I hope if you look at the issues and the reach that we offer, you'll consider us again for the official journal for this coming year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. St. Note. Next, we have Ms. Lisa Lucas.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lisa Lucas. I'm the editor and publisher of Caddo Citizen. Our address is 203 South Spruce in Vivian. Again, I would like to thank each and every one of you on behalf of the newspaper and myself for your consideration on voting us in for Legal Journal. We have served effectively as the Journal in the past. As far as locations, we do have 124 rack locations across Shreveport-Bossier, and we are continuing to grow on a daily basis. I'm looking forward to serving, if at all possible. One thing I would like to say, we also have the Louisiana Press Association's website. If you need to access it via the internet, we have access to that. If you have any questions or concerns, I would be glad to answer those at this time. And once again, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, next on, Mr. Clerk, please.
Next, we have special resolutions. First, we have a resolution of recognition for the General Motors Shreveport Assembly Plant.
Like, would you read it, please, Mr. Clerk?
Okay. We have a resolution of recognition to the General Motors Shreveport Assembly Plant. Whereas the Caddo Parish Commission is pleased to note and commemorate the momentous milestones reached by the institutional and industry members of this community, particularly when those entities have in their existence made profound and lasting contributions toward the betterment of the parish and its citizens. And whereas the General Motors Shreveport Assembly Plant has for 32 years been a cornerstone of the economy of the Northwest Louisiana region, and Caddo Parish in particular, providing employment for not only GM employees but also to employees of numerous industries that are suppliers to the plant. And whereas in its Caddo Parish location, General Motors has enjoyed a favorable industrial environment and benefited from a large pool of skilled, motivated, and productive workers who in turn enjoy the quality of life advantages this area offers. And now therefore be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission the 16th day of June 2011 that it does hereby commend and congratulate the General Motors Shreveport Assembly Plant upon its accomplishment of the extraordinary step of 32 years of service and contribution to Caddo Parish and the surrounding region. Be it further resolved that the Commission does express much appreciation and hereby declare June 16, 2011 as GM Shreveport Assembly Plant Appreciation Day. Signed all 12 Commissioners.
Moved by the Chair. Moved and seconded of the resolution of recognition of General Motors Assembly Plant. Under discussion, before we vote, I'd like to state that I'm pretty sure that everyone is aware that on June the 16th, General Motors Assembly Plant will be holding an open house, and I ask all of our commissioners and all the citizens of Caddo Parish and the surrounding area to please come out and take the tour. It's going to begin at 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. on a first-come, first-served basis. Please wear comfortable shoes, no open-toe shoes or flip-flops, anything of that nature, and let's us show Caddo Parish's appreciation for the 32 years that General Motors has been here. And I'm sure that you're also aware that there's a possibility, and it's still on the table, that in 2012 they will cease operations. And we certainly hope that that does not happen. And the Caddo Parish Commission has been doing everything within its power to see what we can do to see if we can have that plant to continue operations here. It's not only the 700 workers that will be affected out there in the plant itself. There are a number of suppliers that provide a number of jobs within this area, and it would be a great detriment to this area in the event that we lose that plant. So let's please go out, show our support on June the 16th, and let the General Motors management know that we appreciate that plant, we love it, and we hope that they'll continue operations here in the future. At this time, seeing no further comment, we'll vote please on the resolution, and we will be presenting this in person on June the 16th at the plant. That resolution passes. Next order, please, Mr. Clerk.
Next, we have a resolution of recognition for Mr. and Mrs. John Pettaway Jr.
Before you read it, Mr. Clerk, may I ask Mr. and Mrs. Pettaway if they would come forward to the mic? I'm going to come down with you all. I hope that longevity will rub off on me.
Still holding hands with all of you. Amen. You and your wife will be all right. Amen. Only to hold both of us up.
Okay, Mr. Clerk, you may proceed.
Would the commission please stand?
This is John Pettaway.
Proclamation of special events honoring Mr. and Mrs. John Pettaway Jr. Whereas the Caddo Parish Commission notes with great interest and satisfaction those milestone events that occur in the lives of citizens who have made significant and lasting contributions to Caddo Parish and to the larger community. And whereas Mr. John and Alexander Shepherd Pettaway of Shreveport are being honored by their daughter Brenda and son-in-law Isaac Tolliver, their grandchildren and other relatives and friends on the occasion of Mrs. Pettaway's 98th birthday, June 29th, Mr. Pettaway's 100th birthday, June the 4th, and their 69th wedding anniversary, June 19th, all to be celebrated on Saturday, June 18th at the Mount Canaan Baptist Church Family Life Center. And whereas Mr. Pettaway served in the U.S. Army during World War II, June 1943 through September 1945, in the European Command where he served in Africa, Italy, and France. He is the eldest living veteran in Caddo Parish. Mr. and Mrs. Pettaway are retired from lifelong careers and are now living the life that we all look forward to enjoying someday. Their love of gardening and sharing with others has provided many years of wholesome nutrition to many families and friends in the Jefferson Page and Oak Hill community. And whereas the Pettaways have been active in their church, Jewella United Methodist Church, now closed, they both serve as Sunday school teachers, with Mr. Pettaway providing leadership as the Sunday school superintendent, and both sang in the church choir. John took great pride in serving as a member of the trustee and usher boards. Alzada is now a member of the St. James United Methodist Church. John is presently a member of the Pineville Baptist Church. Now therefore be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission this 9th day of June 2011 that it does hereby extend its warmest and most sincere congratulations to Miss Alzada Shepherd Pettaway upon celebrating her 98th birthday, and Mr. John Pettaway Jr. upon celebrating his centennial birth, and on the attainment of the 69th anniversary of their marriage. The Caddo Parish Commission does hereby proclaim and designate the month of June 2011 as John and Alzada Pettaway Month in the parish of Caddo. Be it further resolved that this commission does pray that John and Alzada will greatly enjoy the activities of their special month, and that they will be blessed with a continuation of life, health, happiness, and contentment together for many, many years to come. Signed, Kenneth R. Epperson Sr. and Carl Pearson, District 3.
Commission, it's indeed a pleasure to help you all celebrate the many years of age and marriage, and also Mr. Pettaway as being the oldest veteran in Caddo Parish.
Yes, when I was here last time, 99. I didn't know that 100 now.
Now, we're going to frame this, and we'll hand it to you on these special days. We're going to bring it to you on these special days.
Okay.
So if you all would like to make a comment, you may do so, and then you might take your seat now.
I just want to say thank you, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. God bless all of you all.
Well, I'm glad for the honor.
Next item, Mr. Clerk, please.
Next, we move to committee things and committee reports. There's an administration report or response to information.
Okay. Any communiques from commissioners?
We don't have any report today, sir.
Nothing today? Okay, all righty, we're moving right along. President's report, if you would, any commissioner or staff that would like to attend the open house on June 16th, please get your name to the clerk and we'll get everyone together and we will let you know the directions on that particular day. We will be presenting that resolution and I would like for as many of us commissioners to be present as possible. That's it, Mr. Clerk.
Next, adopt the minutes of the regular meeting held on May 19th.
Moved by Mr. Dominique.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Bowman. All in favor? There you go. That passes. Next order, please.
Move to public hearing and ordinances. Ordinance number 5100 of 2011 to authorize the sale of the parish interest less and accept mineral interest in lots 9 and 10 in North Shreveport Industrial Park, unit number 1.
Is there anyone present to speak in favor of ordinance number 5100 of 2011? Anyone present to speak in opposition of ordinance number 5100 of 2011? Next order, please.
Ordinance number 5102 of 2011, granting a franchise to Southwest Electric Power Company.
Anyone here present today to speak in favor of ordinance number 5102 of 2011? Okay, would you come forward, sir? State your name and address for the record. You may proceed.
Well, John Hubbard, office at 428 Travis, and do work for AEP SWEPCO, and I know we've had conversations, I've had conversations with a number of you on a lot of subjects, but including, I know Charles Grubb's completely tired of me calling about details of the franchise document. So we've had a long partnership over the years, and y'all allowing us to use your rights of way, and we certainly hope that relationship continues, and if you've got questions or comments, or feel free, it's time to tell me. And just so, whatever might be on your mind.
Okay, any questions or comments, Mr. Hubbard? Okay, thank you, sir, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of ordinance number 5102 of 2011? Next order, please.
Ordinance 5103 of 2011, granting into Comcast, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, LLC, right, privilege, and franchise to provide cable services for transmission and distribution of television signals, radio signals, and other lawful services in Caddo Parish.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5103 of 2011? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Next order, please.
Ordinance number 5104 of 2011, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus and authorize the parish administrator designate to sell.
Anyone present to speak in favor of ordinance number 5104 of 2011? Anyone present to speak in opposition? Next order, please.
Ordinance number 5105 of 2011, to authorize the parish administrator designate to sell 16-acre tract of land in Caddo Parish, Louisiana.
Mr. President, we need to pull that ordinance. They have decided not to purchase the property.
Okay. Do we need to vote on that? Okay. It's been moved by Commissioner Smith and seconded by Commissioner Baker that we pull ordinance number 5105 of 2011 because there's no longer an interest in that particular piece of property. Any discussion? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Yeah, we have to pull that when we come to it. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Next order, please.
That concludes the public hearing on ordinances. We move to ordinances for final passage. Ordinance number 5100 of 2011, authorizing the sale of parish interest, less than accept mineral rights interest in lots 9 and 10 in North Shreveport Industrial Park.
So moved. So moved by Commissioner Dominique, seconded by Commissioner Johnson. Any discussion? Seeing no call for discussion, any votes up, we vote please. That ordinance passes.
Ordinance number 5102 of 2011, granting SWEPCO franchise agreement. So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Pearson, seconded by Commissioner Baker. In the discussion, we have Mr. Dominique.
Mr. Grubb, is this just a standard franchise agreement that allows them to use the right-of-ways that, and I want to know, I don't see a franchise fee. There's no fee that is charged for this?
No fee. This replaces a 25-year franchise that expires this July. Likewise, it has no fee, and there are no fees charged by any parishes in Louisiana for electric utilities, is my understanding.
Okay. That's all I had.
Okay, seeing no further debate, when the machine is up, we'll vote, please. Okay, that passes.
Ordinance number 5103 of 2011, granting to Comcast Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, LLC.
So moved. Moved by Commissioner Pearson. Seconded by Commissioner Johnson. In the debate. Seeing no call, pardon?
Hit one.
Mr. Dominique.
Same question. There is a franchise fee on this one, correct? Is it 3%? 5%? Is this an increase or?
No, that's the percentage we've been charging, and that's the maximum amount allowed by law.
It was the maximum amount, but, so it's not an increase in what it has been?
No, sir.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, vote please. That passes. Next order, please, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5104, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus, and authorize the sale.
So moved. Moved by Commissioner Johnson, seconded by Commissioner Pearson. Any debate? Seeing no request, we'll vote when the machine is up. Vote please. That passes.
Ordinance number 5105, to authorize special administrator designee to sell 16-acre tract of land in Caddo Parish.
Smith.
Move to pull this ordinance, they've decided not to buy the property.
Moved by Commissioner Smith, seconded by Commissioner Lynn, that we pull this ordinance. The persons are no longer interested in it. On discussion, we have Mr. Escabay. Why?
Our price was too high.
Our price was too high? Who were we talking with?
Chesapeake.
Oh, okay. I know what this one is. Are we gonna send them a bill for that appraisal?
Ask for that to be done.
No, I want that to be done. Okay.
Mr. Grubb said they would.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Oops. Oh, there we go. All right, seeing no further requests for a debate, we'll vote please. That passes. Next item, please, Mr.
Next,
Clerk.
we move to ordinance for introduction by title. Ordinance number 5106 of 2011, to amend the budget of estimated revenues and expenditures for the Riverboat Fund in the amount of $2,000 for Galilee Baptist Church for the year 2011. Ordinance number 5107 of 2011, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus and to authorize the parish administrator designee to sell. Ordinance number 5108 of 2011, to deem property surplus and authorize the sale of surplus property owned by Caddo Parish. Next, we'll move to the work session, June 6th minutes. We need to ratify those minutes.
Moved by Commissioner Lynch. Seconded by Commissioner Pearson. Any discussion? Okay, we'll vote when the machine is up. Those work session minutes are ratified. Next order, please.
Move to resolutions. First, we have resolution number 22 of 2011. Authorize the parish administrator to disperse the second payment of $50,000 to the Shreveport Regional Sports Authority.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Pearson, seconded by Commissioner Dominique. Any discussion? Okay, seeing her. Pardon? Okay, Mr. Escudero. Anyone else?
I just want to point out some information, and I don't know who to ask, probably nobody here that can say, but Marion Tice has resigned from the organization, so they don't have an executive director. So I'm wondering who manages and controls these funds and who's in charge of dispersing them. And secondly, there's an article in the Times here, the 8th, that was copied on the 3rd by Jimmy Watson, talking about she has formed a new company with a former Athletic High School Association member Rob Owens out of Ruston. So she has got a business that competes with the Shreveport Sports Authority and also with the Shreveport-Bossier Regional Sports Commission. And even though she's competing with those entities, she's also, from what I understand, still going to be retained by the Sports Authority as a consultant. This is, I don't know. Well, whatever. If y'all smell what I smell, I don't know. I can't make any sense of this. So I'm just wondering what they're going to do with the money, who's going to do it, who's in charge of it, and what are they going to do with the contracted events, in particular the basketball. If they don't, we have to get control of the Bassmaster. It's not going to happen. I mean, I don't know how you can serve three entities. Also, we have been funding them up to date and considering them, and the article was incorrect because it said that she left after the city and Shreveport quit funding her. We have not ceased to fund her. We've been funding that organization. We're discussing another appropriation now, so that's incorrect. But I think the author's here and his boss, maybe they can talk about that, getting the facts straight. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Lynn?
I'd like to note that we've got two board members that we've appointed to their executive committee, and we've never heard any reports from them as far as what's going on within the organization. I would like to hear reports on what's actually happening from our two appointees, from both of them, their perspective on the organization before I feel comfortable assigning any money to them. That's all, Mr. President.
Mr. Pearson?
Mr. President, most, the funding that, and I try to keep it real short, I guess that's why I'm stammering a little bit. They went ahead on the projects for 2011 because we agreed to fund them. That's why they went ahead with those projects. And we agreed to fund them based on a couple of things. First of all, we appoint two board members. Second of all, that we get a report. I think we've done both of those things, got reports, and they have gone through with at least three of those projects. Money is owed because we have delayed on giving them the funding. They are in debt to at least two of those projects, past projects, because they haven't been able to pay them. Because we have delayed the funding. Then, next thing is, in order to, the board has, because they can't pay the salary, has contracted the former executive director. She's on a contracting basis, so whenever there is an event, then she's contracted by the board to manage and produce that event, those events that are happening, rather than having to manage an office on an ongoing basis. I don't think there's no competition with itself. There's no competition with the Shreveport Regional Sports Authority in regards to the new entity that she's become a part of. I think that the board itself is going to handle the disbursement of the funds and who those funds will go to, and will certainly be subject to whatever requests that we make of them for where those funds are allocated. So I just think we need to go ahead on and stop and go ahead on and fund this entity, at least for those events that has already occurred. The Bassmaster Classic, we never said that we were going to fund the Bassmaster Classic. That's in 2012. What we said we were going to do was to fund them through 2011. That's what we said. And so the Bassmaster Classic is a different thing altogether. Whether that comes to fruition or not, we're really not sure. But I just wish that we would go ahead on and fulfill our obligation to them, so that they can fulfill their obligations to the people that they serve. Thank you very much.
Mr. Johnson? Call for the question. Question's been called for.
Okay.
Did we get a second on that?
Second.
Second by Ms. Bowman. Question, been called for, let's vote on call for the question, must go by a 2/3 vote at least to pass. Okay, the question has been called for. We'll vote on the motion that's on the floor. Once it come up.
7-4, didn't pass. Gotta have 8.
What was it? What was it? How much was it?
2/3 of 11 is
It was
what?
3/4, but Cox was absent.
2/3 of 11 is what?
2/3? What's 2/3 of the night?
It's seven.
Okay, so we'll, okay, next up is Ms. Lynch.
That didn't, okay. I guess
Call for the question, fail.
my concern is, I don't really want to give the public the impression that we delayed any funding for this organization. The funding, when did they request, can I get clarification on when they requested the first allotment and when the second allotment was made? As I recall, the first payment should have been made timely in relation to when it was requested. Am I correct?
Yeah, I would say 3 or 4 weeks ago, when they provided us the last report for the first quarter, for the second funding, and it came before you all, and we had to...
I know we delayed it for the 2 weeks, but that was contingent upon some information that the commission was expecting
Yes,
and
ma'am.
did not get, and that's why it was delayed, but not that we delayed the funding or didn't pay them timely or anything like that. It's all driven by when it's requested and when we get the information that we need, correct?
Yes, ma'am, I think the answer to your question is the gentleman did came from the Sports Authority to talk to you all, but he couldn't answer all the questions.
Right.
Commissioner Cox asked me to send a letter to Mrs. Tice, invite her to come, and the board members. They did do that, and she was unable to come. And then subsequently, you all delayed for a couple of weeks, and that's what we found ourselves today.
Okay. I don't think the commissioner intended to make it seem like we didn't pay them, that we were somehow dilatory in paying them, but it's just a process of getting the information and then making a decision. So thank you.
Okay, the board was right, so who do we have next?
I don't know, I was on.
Yesterday.
Anyone else want to speak? I'm pressed.
It was
Okay,
yesterday.
here we again, okay.
Dominic, I'm second.
Okay, Dominique, then Escadale.
I will try to be like Mr. Pearson, I will be shorter than you. And just to piggyback on what you said, to me, the Shreveport Sports Authority, they've done what they said that they were going to do, and we made a commitment to fund them through this year. I think we need to meet that commitment, so I'm going to support it. I could sit here and talk for 30, 40 minutes on this issue. I think each and every one of us could, because that's what we've done over and over again. And we voted to call for the question, and it might not have been bad, but I just didn't have a chance to speak, and that's why I voted no, and I'm calling for the question. But at this point, I think we need to live up to our commitment and continue to make this payment. That's what we agreed to do. That's all I have to say at this time.
Second go round, anyone that has not spoken. Let's see, we'll go with Ms. Bowman, then Mr. Escadale.
I just want to say I didn't agree to that. Thank you.
Mr. Escadale?
With all due respect, I'll remind everyone that when we met and discussed in the budget process and the allocation, the request came for original $200,000. The reason it passed the committee and finally got approval was because it would be allocated in quarterly installments, $50,000 apiece, based on updated reports from its executive director and status as to how the organization was doing what it was doing. That's why. So to say that we funded them the whole amount for the year is not absolutely correct. It's funding based on them meeting certain criteria. The last board member who represented the Sports Authority was a new board member who also does advertising that he's contracted to do with the Spain board that he's on, which is definitely a conflict of interest. So check your stuff, people. One thing, I'll throw that out there. That's bad. To say that there's no conflict of interest, I disagree with my good friend, Mr. Pearson. You have the former executive director who has created a new entity whose sole purpose is to recruit and attract sporting events to whoever and wherever she can get them across the region, across the state. Don't tell me that's not a conflict when she's also out there competing against events that the local authority may be trying to get here, and then they end up on the winning bid if they should be, even though she's competing against them, they're going to hire her to run that event. That's a definite conflict. It is not a conflict, it's just, it's certainly, well, it's just a matter of opinion, Carl. Doesn't mean I'm right, I'm just expressing my opinion. It's contract, it's conflict. This is public money. If it's my money or yours, we could do anything we wanted to do with it, but it's not. And we've created a new entity and a new body with the two governing parishes to take this thing to the next level. We have done that, and nobody wants to let this thing go. They refuse to come here and say exactly what they want this money for. I know they probably have expenses, but given all that, the history, the lack of courtesy, sending people up here who don't know what they want to, having us assign board members who have not or do not or have not reported to us, it's premature. But once again, I'll remind you, we did not appropriate a whole $200,000. We did it conditionally. I don't think those conditions have been met. If anybody disagrees, that's fine. I respect your disagreement, but I'm not supporting it based on that. Thank you.
Pearson again?
Respectfully for my colleagues, it's really not a conflict because the new entity that's been formed is not an entity that uses public funds. That's a private entity that's using funds that they have garnered up from the private sector to do sports events. Now, the contract, the existing contracts that we are talking about are those contracts that we agreed, subject to quarterly reports to fund throughout the end of 11. That's the only thing that's on the board. I don't have an issue with any entity, or it could be another sports group that decides to enter into competition with the one that's been previously been formed. I mean, they got lawyers all over town that's in competition with each other. So I mean, it's no really big deal for her to enter into an organization that's not publicly funded to compete against another entity. That's just the way things go. So I mean, I'm just asking simply, that we continue on to deal with our obligation, and we made the obligation. They've given us reports, and I just think we ought to just go on and deal with it, and so we can get our. Thank you.
Okay, I don't see any further requests for debate, so therefore we'll vote when the machine comes up. Six, four, that fails. Next order, please.
Next order, resolution number 26 of 2011, clarifying the cooperative endeavor agreement between the Caddo Parish Commission and the Greater Shreveport Economic Development Foundation, dated March 9, 1995.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Baker, seconded by Commissioner Lynch. Okay, could you give us a little discussion on what this is? Okay.
Charles can.
Yeah, make fun of lawyers till you need one.
You're not proud of your profession, Doug, you can do something else.
In 1995, the Economic Development Foundation and the parish entered into a cooperative endeavor agreement where the parish put up 17% of the money to purchase the industrial park out west of town. In that cooperative endeavor agreement, there's a provision that says that as the property is sold, 17% of the proceeds will go back to the parish to reimburse it for its initial contribution, which amounted to $200,000. The chamber is in the process of selling a piece of that property to a third party, and the third party's the transaction is structured as such that the property, at the same time it is sold to them, it's going to be resold to the port as part of the tax-driven financing that they're doing. And the title examiner for the company was simply wanting some clarification that the 17% did not apply to the subsequent sale from the economic development prospect to the port. And to me, it's very obvious, and to the lawyer for the local lawyer for the economic development process, it's very obvious that the intent of the cooperative endeavor agreement was that when the chamber sold the property, we'd get our 17% back. We wouldn't be getting it on subsequent sales. But the title examiner in New York wanted a written clarification of it, and the only way to give a written clarification would be through this method. I mean, that's something that y'all have, since an agreement that y'all approved in 1995, it took y'all's, they wanted a recordable instrument to show that, and this was the only way to do that I can think of.
Okay. So that answers my question. Anyone else have any debate? Okay, seeing no requests, we'll vote once the machine come up. That passes. Oops. Quick.
We have no other business, we'll move to new business. Next, we have selection of official journal for the Parish of Caddo for the year July 1st, 2011 to June 30th, 2012.
Move that the official journal be the Caddo Citizen/Report Sun.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Dominique, seconded by Commissioner Bowman, that the official journal of the Parish of Caddo for the year July 1st, 2011 to June 30th, 2012 be the Caddo Citizen, Shreveport Sun. Any discussion? We have discussion. We have Mr. Thibodeau. The maker of the motion first. We got,
I guess I could sit there and talk 30 or 40 minutes on this. I'm not going to. We seem to go by it every year. The Caddo Citizen and the cooperation with the Shreveport Sun, I think, as Ms. Lucas has said, has done a good job for us in the past. I know that the Times had it this year, nothing against the Times, but the Caddo Citizen is a small newspaper in my district. This is a good opportunity for them. Last year, when they did not get it, it almost closed the doors. They did have to cut back, lost an employee. It's an economic benefit for our area. They also provide a lower price range for the aggregate line. I know the argument that Matthew Lynn and some of the other commissioners are going to say that the Times obviously has a larger circulation. We know those arguments, and we sit here and talk forever. But I will be voting for the Caddo Citizen and Shreveport Sun and ask for your support.
Ms. Bowman, seconder.
Yes, sir. The Shreveport Sun is located in District 5, district I currently represent. Nothing against the Times, but have to go with home. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Thibodeau.
I've run for public office 5 times and have been fortunate enough to win. None of those 5 times has the Shreveport Times ever recommended me as their candidate, which now I consider a good luck charm. So should I ever run again, and I'm not, I hope that I'm not recommended for that reason, because I'm batting 1,000 right now. But in spite of that, the purpose of a public notice is to reach as many people as possible. I understand where District 1 and District 5 are coming from. You want to protect your little area there. But the Times is going to have 189,000 copies of newspapers put out every week. The Sun and the Citizen together will have 3,655 put out every week. And our job is to give public notice to as many people as we can. And that's why I'm going to vote for the Times, because I don't owe them anything. That's all I have to say.
Mr. Lynn? Mr. Lynn?
Accessibility. I don't have access to the Caddo Citizen unless I subscribe to it, unless I drive to Vivian to pick it up. I do have access to the Sun, and I pick it up at the groceries next door. However, I have people at the restaurant. I have people drop off the Times in the news, they'll bring it in. They'll read it in the morning, and they leave it. And I know that the Times is more accessible to many people for that exact reason, that there's more printed, there's more out there, there's more available to more people, and getting the information to the public is what I think we ought to be trying to do. That's all, Mr. President.
Mr. Escudé?
I'd like to move that we adopt the Shreveport Times as the official journal of the parish. If I can get a second.
Moved by Mr. Escudé, seconded by Commissioner Smith, for the Shreveport Times as the official journal. Mr. Escudé?
Yes, thank you. I'm kind of echo Mr. Thibodeau's comments. I'm not a fan of anything just to be a fan of it, and I'm certainly not a fan of the Times. I mean, the sports reporter just left here, and he's mad. I'm sure, he's going on jihad against me because he didn't get his way because his little friend didn't get what she wanted today with the Sports Authority. And that's fine. I can handle that. Well, I saw the look in his eyes. I mean, if he could have killed me, he'd kill me walking out here. But what this is about doing public service and service to the people. So we always talk about, not me, but there are many on this body that talk about transparency and openness and all this. And it's all talk till it comes down to being as transparent and as open as we can. Then it gets down to the nitty-gritty, and we want to hide everything. Citizen is a nice little weekly newspaper, and so is the Sun. It serves a really, really small, broad block of people, and it is a weekly. Therefore, our schedule, our public notices, our special notices are all predicated on their schedule and time frame, not ours, not at our convenience, their convenience. So when we have special notices or special meetings or have to do things, we have to still spend money with the Times to publish those notices. In fact, it's so poor reach, obviously admittedly, that this body will not accept anything less than the fact that we require that they republish the sex offender notices in the Times, because we know we're underserving the people of this parish. It's simple math. You look at the line rate, that's fine. Anybody will tell you, as Doug mentioned, you buy advertising, you buy it cost per thousand, cost per hundred, cost per reach. You don't buy it by how much the aggregate line is, because you don't even know if the type spaces. There's so many factors that go into it. Yet every year this comes up, we all are experts on buying advertisement and public reach. The bottom line is this, as Mr. Thibodeau pointed out, 6,000, 7,000 a week versus 188,000. We need to have a special meeting. We don't have to wait. Well, they can't publish it, so we have to publish it in the Times anyway. We have to pay extra. I'm sure we don't pay the contracted rate that the Times is proposing. When we don't have the contract, I'm sure we pay a higher rate than that. I wouldn't give us any benefit of the doubt. So we really want to reach everybody. And I understand if I had this in my district, that in my district, that's fine, you'd want to protect it. But I'm sure that he's trying to protect jobs and everything. But as Mr. Dominic pointed out, and I'm only going to bring it up because he pointed it out, if the citizens struggled as a result of not having this contract, then they shouldn't be in business if they're going to depend on government for their livelihood. Nobody should, because we are undependable, And I'm sure that they have several employees, and that's nice. But the Times employs a lot of people, too. And I bet everybody in this room knows somebody, has a friend or somebody, or a neighbor or somebody who works for the Times. And if you get the subscription, then certainly your paper deliverer works for the Times. So if you want to reach the most people, you want to do right, if we're serious about public notice, transparency, working at our schedule and our time frame, what's convenient for us, not somebody else because they only print it once a week, then that's certainly the right thing to do. But admittedly, because we have to print special notices twice and duplicate them, we have to duplicate the sex offenders notices and all. Admittedly, Times is the only or the best vehicle out of the two that serve the needs of the parish and the citizens. So anything else, and I understand self-preservation and district and all, but I mean, it's kind of like I had a paper in Dixie Garden. I promise you, I wouldn't be up here advocating it, that we publish these things in the Dixie Garden Weekly Press, because it's just underserving the people of this parish. Thank you.
Mr. Smith? Of course, I live in Keithville, Southern Hills area, and naturally, that's the only paper we get down there. But then I guess on a personal note, for me, when I get my coffee in the morning, I got to have the Times to get my brain going. So, that's a personal thing. So it works for me, and I'm going to support the Times.
All right, see, Mr. Dominic, this will be second go-round for you. Ms. Lynch has not spoken, so we'll give her a shot.
I have a question of Mr. Grubb. I know that some states, and I'm not sure Louisiana, and I would like to look into it for, after this vote, that are going to, doing away with newspaper publishing and public notices and all of that. Once we put it on our website, I think that has been considered sufficient notice. Do you know if Louisiana has gone to that, or is that under
I
consideration?
know there've been bills filed in the legislature for the last several years to do that, but those bills have not ever made it through the legislative process.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Dominic, Ms. Baker hasn't spoken, so we're gonna go to Ms. Baker.
Call for the question.
Question's been called for, as to pass by 2/3 vote. So vote on calling for the question. Okay, the question has been called for. Now we'll vote on Mr. Escaday's motion, since it was made second, that the Times be the official journal. Once the board is ready, please vote. Okay, that fails. Now we'll vote on this first motion, Mr. Dominique, that the Caddo Citizen and Shreveport Sun, the official journal. Once the board is up, please vote. That passes. Next order, please.
Next, we have confirmation for Caddo Parish members to attend the large Auburn County Caucus's annual meeting June 15th through 17th.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Lynch,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Baker. Any discussion? Okay, the machine is up. We'll vote on the motion, please. It's 3-6. Okay, that motion passes. Next order, please.
Confirmation for appointment of Ms. Josie Harris to the Coordinating and Development Corporation Board to replace Mr. John Stewart.
Moved by the chair,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Lynch. Any discussion? Vote on the motion, please. That passes. Is there any more business to be brought before the body? Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Smith's agenda addiction. Go ahead, Mr. Clerk.
Confirmation for appointment of Mr. Garrett Williams to the Water District Number 7 Board immediately.
I have attached a resume.
Okay, make your motion second, then.
Okay.
Moved by Mr. Smith, seconded by Commissioner Lynch, that would be appoint Mr. Garrett Williams to the Board of Water District Number 7, effective immediately. On the debate, Mr. Smith.
I'm happy to tell you that Mr. Williams is a lifelong employee of General Motors. He's retired, and they even called him back to work again to help the truck division. He's an electrical engineer, very talented, very smart. He also lives in Fontainebleau District, and as some of you know, that's, I was trying to get a resident in Fontainebleau because that's the latest thing added to the Water District in District 7.
Okay. Once the board come, Mr. Pearson?
Yes, I would just add, wondering about the objectives. The objective on his resume is to work in an industrial technical environment in a challenging area that would assist your school in growth and process, for understanding of people, production, and equipment, and help make your school a success. I was just wondering what school you were talking about.
Don't know, that's his
This is
objective. I got an email to him.
Okay, job resume.
Oh, okay.
Got the, okay, when the board is up, we'll vote, please. Okay, is there any more business to be brought before this body? Entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Let me get out of here.